Maybe one day is officially over. Every day can be the start of something new. Day one of loving yourself. Day one of living authentically. Day one of making valuable connections with yourself and the world. This is your place of health, of love, and of life, empowering the start of your journey. You will never again say, maybe one day. Hey cutie heads, I'm Tiff Day and I am the host at Day One, and your journey starts today. We are going to be talking about something that's a pretty big deal. We are talking about 2020 and some of the wild, crazy things that we went through or didn't go through and where we are today. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the things that I went through. I would love to hear some of the things that you've been through. And I really want to just kind of dive in and talk about the things that we've learned. Last year was probably the first year. For so many of us, last year was a time that we really had to learn how to sit with ourselves. For me, I know that was the case. I mean, for the past 24 years, I was in a marriage, and then I went through a divorce, and then I was dating, or I was in a relationship. Last year was the first year probably of my life that I've had to sit by myself. And when you sit by yourself, you face some pretty dark, not always dark, but hard things. And there are things that you have to face and that you actually have to go through to figure out and to learn who you are and to really grow. So I want to share with you guys some of the things that I sat with, some of the things that I learned, and some of the things that I've taken away from 2020 that have brought me to where I am today. The first thing that I took away from 2020 was minimalism. And when I say that, I'm telling you, things are things. They're not the end all. They're not what makes us who we are. It's not the value that we put on our life. They are things. We can do without so many things. They don't bring us happiness. And I think as we learn to live more simple, as we learn to focus on the things that are more important and cut all the crap out of our life, that's when we find out who we are and where our true happiness is. And that's what I found for myself. So what brought me to understand the importance of being minimal is that you can't depend on a job per se or a certain pay. You can't depend, I hate to say this, on other people. You need to rely on yourself. And for me personally, making things more simple, it just was easier to take the steps to make sure that I was self-reliant, self-efficient, and able to just move forward on my own. The second thing that I learned was priorities. And when I say priorities, to me, time and relationships, they're my top priority. Time is something that we don't get back. It is something that's been warped over the last year. I don't know how many of you felt like you were in Groundhog Day. I felt like I was in Groundhog Day. It's like the days were just on repeat. Time was kind of at a loss. But in the same regard, it was valuable. It was time for growth. It was time to build. And for me, when I say build, that's building relationships with the people that meant something in my life, with my kids, with my friends, with my family. Those are the things that I take away from last year as some of the most prized gems and possessions that have brought me to where I am. On a lighter note, number 3 is hygiene. I am a hygiene freak. I shower, I brush my teeth. I like to smell good. Smells are a big deal to me. But when masks were brought about, I am telling you, You think you've brushed your teeth until you wear a mask and then you want to die a little bit inside. Or the mask knee, I don't know who dealt with that aside from myself. I learned that if I brushed my teeth and I used mouthwash more than 3 times a day, I thanked myself at the end of a Target run. And my face looked better. So, little tips, guys. Hygiene was important. Number 4, creativity. I've never thought of myself as the most creative person. And for me, I've always heard early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, in this whole pandemic, when time was just kind of a word that existed out in the universe, I found that early to bed for me didn't always work. And it was late at night that I would come up with a lot of different ideas or had some little nudges to do things. And that's where I found the most creativity, was really listening to myself and listening to the things that were inside of me. And a lot of times that came out late at night. So early to bed, early to rise. Let's throw that out the door. Number 5, this is a pro Tiff tip. This changed my laundry experience and could possibly change yours. Tide smelly balls. I am telling you, I live with teenagers and I live with sports clothes. They are a game changer. Not only do they make the clothes smell good, they come in different flavors. So there's this lavender one that makes me feel like I'm in a jungle. And it's this relaxation. And when the laundry's going, I seriously can sit on a chair, close my eyes, and picture myself at a waterfall. Now, mind you, I found Old Spice Tide smelly balls for my son. So you want to think there's a yummy man in the house? Put that in your washer. It's so funny because spending so much time with myself and at home, it was the simple things of laundry and smells and different cleaners that I found that really could brighten my day or could change the vibe or the situation and make things more fun. Like, you kind of have to dig deep and look at those simple things to maybe change your day. Number 6, this is an important one. It's boundaries. When I say boundaries, I'm going to fully admit that I used to think that boundaries kind of made you douchey, may I say, or maybe stuck up or self-absorbed, when over the last year, I have learned that setting boundaries is actually showing myself so much love. And I can set boundaries with myself. And as I learn to accept the boundaries that I set for myself, I am better equipped to set boundaries in relationships with other people, whether they be good, whether they not be good, because I have different relationships that are healthy and unhealthy. And I definitely needed to understand that process and be able to set those boundaries. And I would challenge each of you to understand what your boundaries are and to really focus on loving yourself enough to make that a top priority in your life. One boundary that I set for myself, and I'm sure many of you can relate. In a relationship, healthy or unhealthy, and I'm going to go the unhealthy route here because that happened to me quite a bit over the last year, is blocking someone on social media. I always felt like such a jerk when I would do that. I'd be like, oh my gosh, they're going to find out. It's going to hurt their feelings. People are going to think I'm so mean, yada, yada, yada. And honestly, it is showing myself love to block someone from my daily sight. If I don't see you, if I don't get triggered by seeing a picture or by you liking something on my feed, it's okay to set that boundary for myself. I'm not being mean. I'm actually taking care of myself mentally. I'm taking care of myself physically because then I'm not triggered and I'm not dealing with all of those unwanted emotions. That's just one simple boundary that I worked on last year that really helped me so much. Number 7, connection. And for me, I'm going to tie connection to understanding my spirituality. Because of the pandemic, everything was closed down. We couldn't go to church. We couldn't get in groups. So spirituality has always been a really big deal for me. And it was such an incredible opportunity for me to find ways to have spirituality in my life. I didn't have to be in a church house. I didn't have to be with a certain group of people. I found spirituality as I went out in nature. In fact, I found it maybe more so as I had time alone to bring my thoughts and to bring different burdens that I had. And so I cry when things touch me, and just the different experiences that I had and feeling love from someone, call it whoever you may. It could be a female. To me, it is a God. It could be anything to any of you, but it was an opportunity for me to feel closer and to feel direction and to feel love from a higher source. And I think it was the first time that I did that for myself and found that. And that was a game changer. It was a game changer to know that I could be somewhere else, that I could really be anywhere and find exactly what I need and know that it's always there. Number 8, openness. When I say openness, I have found that I hate the word adventurous. It seriously sounds so freaking cheesy, but I found that I was more adventurous than I ever thought. I love trying a lot of new things. I went on some trips by myself. I went snowshoeing. I got scuba certified. I went out and bought a bicycle and I started cycling. I mean, you name it. I just decided, listen, 47 is not too old. And why can't I live my best life right now? We're not guaranteed tomorrow. So why not do the things that maybe I've dreamt of or thought might be cool? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take every day and I'm going to live it to the fullest. And I'm going to try every new thing that pops into my head. So watch out. Number 9, challenges. Who likes challenges? Nobody. And I especially don't. Like, it's hard to say, oh, I want a challenge in my life. And I found myself more challenged last year and also found myself accepting the challenge. I challenged myself in relationships. I challenged myself in work. I challenged myself in just different personal goals that I had set. And that's having hard conversations with people. Maybe people that you like, maybe people that you have a difficult time with. Maybe you're questioning work. Are you in the right spot? Do you love what you do? Do you get up every day and are you happy? Do you feel like you're making a difference? Those are all things that I was faced with last year. And as I had those difficult conversations with myself, hi, here I am. Here I am today doing what I love. I love being able to connect with you guys. I love that I wrote a fitness guide. I love that I have a website. I'm doing the things that maybe are a challenge and scary. And today I can honestly tell you I'm happy. Those conversations that I've had with other people or not had because it felt better, those are also challenges that I've faced and I've grown from. So I say face those challenges head on in 2021. Number 10 is perspective. And when I think of perspective, I think of mindset. I feel like This pandemic has really, really made us have to focus on our mindset. I have seen more depression. It's so easy to just get stuck in a rut. It's so easy to find yourself on the couch wanting to watch Netflix all day long. It is really a personal choice to change your mindset, to make your mindset what you want it to be so that you can continue to move forward, so you can continue to push yourself, so that you can stay positive, so that you can share that positivity and that love and those good vibes with everyone around you. So, yeah, mindset's a big one. At the end of my 10 things that I've learned over this past year, my biggest takeaway was that I'm human. That because I'm human, I'm constantly changing. I am constantly wanting more. I'm constantly wanting to push myself. And at the end of the day, I have myself to count on. I have myself to get up and thank and love and respect enough to continue to move forward. All right, don't get me wrong. 2020 was a bitch. I didn't love it. It was probably one of the most difficult years of my life. And at the same time, I love 2020. I love it. I embrace it. I'm grateful for it because I came out stronger. I came out with more of a knowledge of who I am, an understanding of the things that I need in my life to keep me moving forward, and an appreciation for everything that I have. So, yeah, 2020, thanks. We would love to hear from you. How was your last year? How did you do during the pandemic? What were some of your takeaways? Or maybe you have something that you learned that I could learn from or that our community could learn from. Please share with us. I would love a comment. Go follow our Instagram stories and go watch our YouTube. Leave comments. Be interactive with us, because as you share and I share and we all share together, it brings us tighter together and helps us grow. I would love to encourage each of you to go follow us on our social media pages. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I appreciate all of your support. You guys have been amazing. Don't forget to check out our website, tiffday1.com. I am there with everything. It has our podcast, it has nutrition, it has help. Everything lives there. So go check it out. And I hope that your journey is amazing and that today and the following week are filled with positive vibes and good energy. And I'm sending you all of the love.